Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to defeat all of these uncollected bosses using only 3-star champions. So these are going to be the cutouts from my 3-star uncollected completion stream, and I did in fact manage to complete all of these 6 quests in this month's Uncollected without using a revive, using only 3-star champions. And so we're gonna cut out the boss fights here. So first fight is against Guillotine. Now this isn't like the most tricky fight, obviously it has close encounters, so you do want to stay close to her, otherwise you're gonna be degening. However, Spectre is the thing that makes it annoying, because if you basically get your heal reversed, then you end up in a situation where you lose your health no matter what's happening. And that's why I figured that A-Gun should be pretty much a perfect counter to this, just because, well, A, by end of the quest we can ramp him up and he's gonna have a great damage output, and B, just because he can shrug off that Spectre debuff and I can pretty much heal up for most of the fight without having to worry about my health being taken away from me and me just kind of like dying off. So yeah, A-Gun managed to defeat the Guillotine fairly easily, even as a 3-star champion. Now obviously you do need to ramp up A-Gun so he crits reliably and is able to remove these debuffs by end of the quest. And the next fight is going to be Morningstar. We're going to stick with what we started and we're going to be bringing in A-Gun in this fight. Now she has Vigor on it, which basically heals her up by quite a bit, but combined with Breakthrough, because every hit we land on her damages her armor further and further, and that means that any champion eventually can out damage that Vigor anyways, because your damage output is just going to keep going up and up throughout the fight. With every landed hit you start to hit harder, and A-Gun can shrug off all the bleeds from Morningstar, therefore I don't have to worry about it too much. Now I do need to obviously pay attention not to get stuck with bleed. In case I do not get crit, I need to make sure that I can shrug them off as quickly and efficiently as I can. However, you could have used pretty much any bleed immune champion for this fight and you would have been just fine. Eventually any bleed immune champion, even, I don't know, 3-star Groot would out damage this Morningstar, so there's definitely nothing kind of like too much to worry about in this fight. Just make sure you bleed immune, and then yeah, everything else will fall into place sooner or later, depending how hard you can hit, but you will be out damaging that heal with any champion sooner rather than later. And here we can see just that, even though that heal triggered, I'm absolutely not worried. 66 hits in. Now I did have that bleed debuff stay on me for a bit, which luckily I did get rid of quickly enough. But you wouldn't have to worry about it if you're using a bleed immune champion. So 78 hits, Morningstar goes down, nothing kind of like too tricky or difficult over there. So far we have had 2 boss solos, which is quite awesome, but now we're gonna be getting to the harder bosses, so they might not be going down so easily. So first off we have Elsa Bloodstone. I wanted to check out how I am going to do with the A-Gun, and I'm gonna make a slip up super early in the fight. However, we still will manage to get her down rather efficiently. Yeah, so here's the fight is starting, and I do my regular combos because I think I'm protected by my true accuracy. However, the moment it does not trigger, the moment I didn't crit, I basically get avoided immediately, and yeah, I should have played much more careful this matchup than I did, and I get caught by it quite a few times here. And yeah, so I basically just went in too careless. I relied on the true accuracy buff too much, and I basically just ignored the way you should be playing against Elsa in Uncollected because of that annoying node. That definitely was one of more annoying nodes I had seen recently. But next we're gonna go in with 3-star Archangel, and that shouldn't be too hard. We should be able to still manage to do a lot of damage to her. As you can see, we had a fairly good RNG on the first heavy attack. Now I did not launch my heavy attack there just because I wanted to possibly try and get a bit more poisons on her and parry her again before I drop my heavy, because I do have to be worried of my health and how hard she can hit in my block. So there's that, yes, but nonetheless she's going down fairly quickly. I did make a small mistake here, but I was saved by the stun. Now we have 4 neuros on her, and we're dropping more heavy attacks, and everything seems to be going our way. And yeah, so here I combo my level 2 into my special attack. However, here I took a lot of block damage and I'm nearly down. However, I did use Quake's Awaits energy with Nick Fury on purpose to kind of like save me from dying off completely. I used my last await charges to basically auto-await as much as I could, and then I just wanted to procrastinate a bit to let those debuffs tick her off a bit more. Now she's at 3k only, so I should be able to pretty much finish her off with any champion, which is what I'm going to do exactly here. I'm just going to take in 3-star Quake and finish the fight off. So long as I don't make a slip up, I should be perfectly fine. I did get the heal from the beginning of the fight because of Nick Fury synergy with Deadpool, and yeah, one set of aftershock charges should be enough to take her out, and that happens just so. So we did manage to get Elsa Bloodstone down as well using only 3-star champions. Wasn't as smooth of a run as I had hoped, but overall probably a success. Now here, this fight against Puncher 2099, I had a plan. I had a solid plan to abuse that aggression fury with Electro and Heimdall, and that is what I'm gonna try and do. However, let's see how that works out for us in a second. So as always, Electro Heimdall cheese on Aggression Fury is just try and get as many Furies as you possibly can on an opponent, and then take a hard hit and reflect the damage back and knock them out in one go. My problem here was, however, he wouldn't put his block up, and every time I seemed to go at him, I just managed to land an intercept instead of getting to hit in his block. And now that he has reached level 1, I'm in big trouble because level 1 makes no contact and I'm dead like that. And yeah, I basically dealt no damage whatsoever. So this was a bit of a fail attempt of abusing Aggression Fury node, which would have been such a great way how to dispatch this opponent. However, we always come in with a plan B, and plan B quite often turns out to be simply Quake it, because if I will manage to Quake consistently and well enough, he's not going to get all that many Aggression Furies, which wouldn't matter all that much anyways, because my goal is to evade every single attack he tries to throw at me. And also ability accuracy reduction, make sure he doesn't get the power gain as often anyways. And so we should be having a fairly good time overall, and slowly but surely we will get there. So I will speed up this footage till the end, because then something interesting is going to happen. So let's quickly fast forward to the end. As you can see here, so far so smooth. However, here we can see I'm going to make a mistake, and he knocks me down with one punch in a second. Luckily, Heimdall's synergy will save me. However, you will notice that there is going to be something interesting happening. So here I do manage to put the block on, he hits me, and he takes back 791,000 damage, and that is obviously due to Aggression Fury and Quake's ability to reflect damage whenever she's struck in her block. So that worked out nicely in the last second kind of thing. So we did manage to take him down with Quake. So our next boss, so now we have moved into chapter 3, is Guillotine 2099. Now obviously I have made a video on how to defeat this Guillotine as well, and the base idea kind of is stick to your heavy attacks ideally, and then you will not have to worry about her going invisible, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do here. Also, Captain America Infinity War has ability to shrug off all the debuffs, and that means that combined with skill champion, you have ability to shrug them all off, so long as you have kinetic charges. So I do not have to worry about that being reversed. However, I do make a silly slip up very early in the fight, and I do get knocked down awaiting her level 1. Definitely do need to work a bit more on my timing over there, because overall it's not the hardest fight. Now I'm going to take an A-gun, and my plan was kind of to get hit and then land an intercept and just deal as much damage as I can. However, I missed down my intercept, so Guillotine takes away another one of my champions. It's quite alright though, and at this point I'm going to try and take Ghost and deal as much damage as I can with Ghost, because after that I am left with Quake and Medusa, and both of those champions can counter Guillotine 2099 quite usefully. However, Medusa is bugged, which is pretty much the reason why I wanted to chip her down with different champions before that, because Medusa, I don't know what's happening with her armor shatter. However, robots still gain power after you shatter them with your level 3, so you can prevent them from gaining power with your like kind of initial armor shatter, but then when you refresh it or like apply a new one with level 3, they still gain power. And in this case I knew if I'm going to bring in my 3-star, then I'm definitely going to have nowhere near enough kind of like damage reach to finish the fight off before I have to apply another armor shatter. So the plan is to just deal as much damage as I can with Ghost, then go in with Medusa and finish it off. Ideally, if not, then I still have Quake to finish it off. So once again here, my gameplay with Ghost is simple, single hits, just to make sure that I do not risk getting punished in case she does go invisible like she does now. because then after a single hit I can quite easily kind of stop myself and dash out of the situation. I don't have to be overly worried, and then where I happen to parry her, I just drop in a heavy attack to get some more damage, some fury, some cruelty. And so far we're doing quite well. We have chipped her down a bunch. It's basically as well as you can expect with 3 stars, I suppose. And yeah, we can see that the gameplay is working fairly well. Just a single hit in there, quickly out, so on and so forth, and we're doing well. And now once again she has went invisible, so I want to kind of procrastinate, dance about a bit. Now I do parry. That parry was quite hard. Do launch a heavy attack. We got a couple of furies, which is awesome. Now I just again mistimed level 1 evade, so I got caught. Yeah, it's a silly slip up, definitely need to work on that. However, now that she is below 50% health, I think I might possibly be able to reach the end of it basically with my Medusa. So the idea is I want to get close to 1 bar of power as possible before she has an option to launch her level 1, because that level 1 obviously has annoying power drain. So that's exactly what I do here. Luckily she didn't go invisible on my first combo, and now she's armor shattered, and I have pretty much nothing to worry about there. And the strategy we're going to use here is just to be safe, better safe than sorry. I'm just going to be spamming my heavy attacks, because while she's armor shattered, obviously she can't gain any power, means she will never get past the bar of power, and just like that I can basically chip her down, and she has no chance to retaliate so long as armor shatter is active. And if you see here, I pretty much make it to level 3 anyways, but that is enough to finish the fight. And yeah, so Guillotine 2099 goes down, and now we only have 1 final boss left, which of course is Mephisto. So for Mephisto, the initial plan was to bring in Void, because I had one-shot this guy with the 3-star Void before in one of my other streams, just for fun kind of stuff. However, this will not exactly work out as I intended it to, and then we're going to be on a bit of shaky grounds. So the game plan is kind of fairly simple. Just slow play it till you get a bunch of debuffs on him, and then kind of try and keep him in the corner, because you will have his power gain reversed basically. So everything starts off perfectly fine, and at this point I run in, which is all good. We just basically want to chip away at him, play it slow and safe, don't parry too much, because parries hurt a lot as well. And I do have Suicide Zone, so I don't have much health to spare kind of. So here I do not retaliate after his level 1, which is very wise, which is what you're supposed to do. And now, for whatever reason, I dashed in while he was still unstoppable, and obviously, sure enough, he punished me. And with that, Void goes down. Now, I looked at my champions, and I was in fairly sticky situation. So I did use a couple of heals just to max out my Human Torch's health. So yeah, I did use a couple of health potions in the last quest, I believe, right here. But we did not have to use any revives dealing with 3-star champions here in Uncollected. And yeah, so now we have Human Torch on Suicides with Nova Flames pre-fight ability active against this Mephisto, pretty much on full health. We can see that a single parry did take away quite a bit of our health. So we do need to be super kind of careful in terms of what we're doing when we take a hit in a block, because yeah, the parries hurt, and let alone if I would happen to take a hit in a block, actually that will hurt much more. So this isn't going to be like a quick easy fight. I can't pressure him too much. It's going to involve kind of a lot of hits in a block, slowly but surely kind of pushing him away, fighting for position. And also the good thing is that our smolders keep increasing every time we stand next to him while he has Aura of Incinerate on, because that would kind of class as dealing Incinerate damage or energy damage, and we can see that the smolders are growing quite rapidly. And as we all know, the more smolders Human Torch has, the higher damage output from his Nova Flames. Now, unfortunately, I'm not really able to keep the temperature up in this fight, just because, once again, I can't parry, I can't be spamming my heavy attacks. It's already kind of like a tricky fight, so I will have to rely from the damage boost from smolders stacking up rather than my temperature being maxed out and my incinerates lasting longer. So now at this point I'm in a bit of a hairy situation once again, because he's closing in on my side of the wall, so I definitely do want to make sure that I can push him away, which my plan is to rely on my level 3 attack over here, because yeah, I don't have too much room to dance for. He once again goes unstoppable. I do need to wait it out, so my plan was just that, parry him, hit him once while he is under parry stun, even though he was unstoppable, and then drop level 3 to kind of push myself towards the middle of the map and regain some decent position in the fight. But yeah, so here we can see that we did manage to do just that. Now again, a couple hits in his block just to push him a bit further away, and that's how we're doing this basically. That's the game plan. We want to hit his block, do a couple hits at him, and just kind of slowly but surely build up our smolders, so that means we can deal more and more damage, because we definitely cannot afford to be cornered or take too many hits and block, because we don't have too many of those left in us. But however, slowly but surely, this snail pace kind of, we have managed to chip him down quite substantially, and I'm quite happy with the result of this fight. I definitely didn't think Human Torch will do as well as he did as a 3-star over here. And so far, the fight pretty much is under our control. We have quite a chunk of smolders active. We're not cornered. His health now would be pushed below 30%, but his regen obviously kicked in and regenerated him a bit, but it's nothing too major. We still have all the opportunities to push him even further down, but there I took one hit in a block, and with that all my remaining health is pretty much gone. However, we have done a great job so far regardless. We have pushed him quite low in his health department. However, unfortunately, he has almost cornered me again. So I do take a parry. I have like a slither of health left at this point. Definitely not enough for another parry, I think. And yeah, so the game plan is push him away from me, preserve my life, do not block under any kind of circumstances, and just be super careful. Unfortunately, he will catch me towards the end. I did not manage to get in like quite the one shot that it could have been, but it's still a great effort for Human Torch for sure. Can't knock that. So let's see what's gonna happen here. He's at 11%, and I think I'm gonna make a slip up somewhere here, yes. And then I'm gonna take in simply Quake just to finish it off, because he has 11%, plus he's gonna get a couple of percent health from his soul that he captured or whatever. It's not too important. However, so long as we don't slip up with Quake, we should be perfectly fine to finish the fight off. And that will pretty much do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed doing this 3-star Uncollected stream. I will try and do one for next month Uncollected as well. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you liked it, then hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button with your alliance mates, share it with that friend of yours who keeps perhaps struggling with something in Uncollected. But that will be me done for today, and yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys sometime soon. See you guys.